Good morning. It is not even 6:30 yet, but we are going to get out. We are going to do a garden tour. I have some things that need to go out into the compost, and then we are also going to be doing some harvesting. We're predominantly going after basil today. There may be a couple of peppers, but I doubt it. We're going to check on the tomatoes, and we're going to harvest some herbs, we're going to harvest some kale, and we may harvest our beets. I think it's about time we get the beets done. And then I will show you what my future plans are for some more fall crops, and the bean seeds that I started about a week and a half ago. They're looking pretty good. So let's get this composted. So this back here, there's a lot of failures back here in this part of the garden. So all of these are kohlrabi, and then we've got flowers tucked away in here. Got some calendula. So let me take you in and let me show you what we're working with. So the kohlrabi's looking pretty good, actually. We're not super worried about the kohlrabi. But this calendula, he's kind of being shaded out, so he's a little sad. This is one of 2 pole beans that actually survived. So the pill bugs, and I'm wondering if the earwigs were eating them. And that is a roly-poly trap. You use beer, and they actually flock to it. The kohlrabi are not putting on bulbs yet, though. So I don't know. I'm going to have to fertilize everything. Maybe that'll help. We have basil in here, so I want to go ahead and get some basil harvested today. This straw flower finally is getting sun, so maybe it'll come to a flower. We got more basil in here. And I didn't realize like how bushy the kohlrabi was going to get. But it definitely probably needs a fertilize. We do have, I haven't gotten this variety of straw flower to grow before, and I'm so excited. You've never grown straw flowers before? They sound like that. It's like paper. And that inside one right there is just perfect. Next up we have cucumber. My neighbor's raspberry plants are coming through. I'm going to try and cut those later. But we've got cucumbers over here. Let's see if we've actually got any. We've got some cukes forming on the vine, which is exciting. We don't have any down here. Yep, and we got another cuke right there. We have another straw flower. This one I've grown before, and it is so pretty. I'll show you the one that's in the front yard because it looks so good. And then our cayennes. I really have never had bad luck with cayennes. My cayennes always produce something. So if you can see here, we've got cayenne pepper there. We've got some cayenne peppers down there. This guy just started putting on cayenne peppers, so we got a little baby cayenne there. This marigold looks like might be flowered out, but look at these cayenne peppers. Just look at how stunning those are. So now I'm just waiting on these to red up, and then we do have some purple basil over here that we're going to need to harvest as well. We've got more beautiful cayennes, and then we have tomatoes. So we do have, I don't know if you can see that, we have some tomatoes on the vine. So now we're just waiting on them to grow and to ripen. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is a nutrient deficiency. So we're definitely going to fertilize today. There is some lemon basil hidden in here. And then these are our cherry tomatoes. They look pretty good. We move on over here. We have our echinacea, our beautiful echinacea. It's looking pretty happy. It is getting a little overrun by the tomatoes, so I may pull it out a little bit. We've got our Rebecca. The hydrangea is looking pretty good. There's nothing in this bed right now. Ultimately, I think I'm going to put radishes here. We'll put radishes, or we're going to put carrots. I may put lettuce here because this gets a fair amount of shade because of this maple tree. So if I put radishes and lettuce here, that should probably help. But right now I put morning glories in there and they are very happy. Y'all, this is quite the success story and quite the bounce back. These 2 rows of Romas looked so sad a few weeks ago. Like, I thought they were going to die. I didn't think we were going to get anything, but they seem to have recovered beautifully. The Romas on that side are just super happy. I honestly think those might be San Marzanos with how tall they got. But they're looking good. They're putting on flowers, which should mean we're going to get tomatoes. We have another about 80 days before a frost hits, so I'm not super worried. On this side, I also have lemon basil, some regular basil tucked in there, some regular basil, and then we've got these purple basils, which are starting to look pretty good as well. And then this guy, he's also looking like he's recovering. He doesn't look super happy, but he's trying. And then we have our blueberry plants. So before we go up to the front yard, oh, how did I overlook this? Look at those Romas. Look at how beautiful those are. And we got one here. So I'm super excited. Our tomato harvest hopefully is going to be great. So what we're going to do is we're going to harvest basil while we're back here. And then we'll go up to the front yard and we will harvest more and do a garden tour there.
So friends, I don't often get time before work to get out into the garden and do a harvest like this, but I worked from home today and I was up at 6 and I decided we're doing it. We needed to get out and get this harvest done. It is also ideal to go ahead and get a harvest done in the morning versus in the evening. And that's because the plant hasn't been subject to the intense heat of the day, and so the plant is actually sweeter in the mornings than it is in the evenings because of the intense heat. So I generally try to only harvest in the morning if possible. The exception to that is generally my tomatoes, because I harvest them as I see them ripening or as I see them ripen. That way I can get them off the vine and the plant can continue to put energy into the other unripe tomatoes. Also, some of you probably noticed we have a ton of weeds in our rocks. Please ignore all those weeds. Reed and I are very busy and we're not often around all the time on the weekends. So it's coming up with time to go ahead and get our weeds pulled. They do get pulled eventually. They just haven't been pulled yet. But it's also been a few weeks since I've been out here to harvest, and I was so amazed at the progress of the basil. The basil looks amazing. This purple basil I am currently harvesting from right now. It is actually my best looking plant, and I think it just has to do with its location overall, but I am very happy with our basil harvest this year. This is my second or third basil harvest of the season, and that just makes me feel so incredibly good.
All right, friends, so now we're up near the front yard. This is our pumpkin. He's reaching for the sun, so I have high hopes we'll get a pumpkin this year. I am strongly debating transplanting this zucchini. He is just not happy, like that straw flower. So unhappy. The potatoes, they still look kind of sad, let's be honest. However, this is still the best they've ever done for me. So you win some, you lose some. You can't win it all. So we shall see. The plants aren't quite dying back. You don't want to harvest the potatoes until the plants have died back. So we're just going to keep letting them go. I do see some bindweed right there that I need to get rid of. Coming over here to this bed. This bed has exploded. It is like a whole jungle. So we got a straw flower on each side. I'm hoping they bloom. This Cosmo has been beautiful, blooming, super happy. It is my candy stripe Cosmo. I have one that's in bloom, I think. So I'll show you what that's like. These are all of my Sugar Rush peach peppers. They always do super well. Uh-oh. We got the sacrificial Sugar Rush peach pepper. So let's throw that into the compost. We've got some basil. Something is eating this basil though. I don't know what that is. Let's see. We've got more basil in here, and look at those tomatoes. Look at how stunning those are. We've got more tomatoes in here. More tomatoes in here. But it is an absolute jungle in here, y'all. Just an absolute jungle, and I absolutely love it. Oh, okay. Here's more tomatoes. They're looking good. We've got some basil in here. This basil's looking okay. This poor Sugar Rush peach pepper plant is, in fact, just being overrun. I think we're gonna need to support this branch just a little bit more. Maybe that'll help. I'll probably trim off a couple of these. This Sugar Rush peach pepper is better, but these Romas are all putting on their tomatoes, and they are fabulous. And then further over, we have our Cosmos. We did harvest our cabbage. I'm actually just leaving the cabbages here until I am ready to plant stuff in here to fill in. So this is going to help keep weeds from like taking over. But our marigolds look super, super great. I've got straw flowers scattered throughout, which is super exciting. We've got a variety of straw flower there. We've got zinnias in here, the cosmos. So we've come to the other side of this bed. Look at how stunning this straw flower is going to be. I'm so, so excited. And then our zinnias. These are also, I think, like a peppermint or a candy stripe zinnia. So those are looking pretty great. I need to come in here and harvest this lemon basil. It is definitely being crowded out. And then this is another Sugar Rush peach pepper. And we've got little ladybug just hanging out. And our asparagus is just, just what it is. So this is cabbage. So if you did not know, when you harvest cabbage, broccoli and cauliflower will do the same thing. It will actually send off side shoots and make smaller baby cabbages. So this cabbage actually was my sacrificial cabbage. So all of the bugs ate this one, and so it never formed a head. And because of that, it then like sent off side shoots, and now it's got like 4 baby cabbages. I don't think I'm gonna let them go to a full head, just because if you can tell, they are still getting eaten quite a bit by the bugs. And so I think I'm just gonna let them keep eating it until I'm ready to plant something else. But these are beautiful cosmos. Like, just look at how stunning that guy is. We got another beautiful straw flower coming. Beautiful Cosmo. This one is kind of done, so we're gonna deadhead him, maybe. And then, friends, this straw flower is by far my favorite. Look at how beautiful. The deep maroon purple color with the orangey center. And this one has a lot of heads on it. Beautiful. Zinnias. I haven't gotten like a full-on like fluffy zinnia. I have one over there that's close. So I'm hoping they start to fluff more. This marigold is just beyond happy. The Tower of Peppers, friends. The Tower of Peppers, I could not be more excited about. This is a Marconi pepper. This pepper plant is down there at the bottom. Look at how tall this thing got. And then we got banana peppers. Those are looking really great. We may harvest some of those because those are looking good. And then I do have a couple shishito peppers, but most of them are actually pepperoncinis and the bell peppers. Look at all these little bell peppers. So this guy definitely, the GreenStalk definitely needs to be fertilized. And then we got more of these pepperoncinis, which is super cool. I don't know when to harvest them. I don't know if they'll turn red or not. And then I think this is also a pepperoncini. It's a different color though. We got a banana pepper here. That is a shishito pepper. There's the tag somewhere in there that it's a shishito pepper. So yeah, this pepper tower, I am not at all disappointed. We may do this again next year or something similar. Look at that marigold. And then we've got this stunning, this is about the fluffiest zinnia I have gotten. Look at the color variation in it. So I'm super excited for more marigolds here. And then this bed. So let's talk about this bed real quick. So this was spinach, Swiss chard, we got beets, we've got peas that are growing, they're struggling a fair amount. We've got our lettuce. Our lettuce isn't quite bolted, so I should probably harvest what I want. We'll have lettuce for dinner the next like 2 nights, and then I think I'm gonna pull this lettuce. If you notice, also my radishes went to seed, and I'm just waiting for the seed pods to get as big as they can get before I harvest them. I don't know how big I should let the seed pods get before I harvest it so I can save seed from it. And then this is what we're after, friends. Look at these beets. So we are going to harvest beets today. That's the goal. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to get out here. I did see a pepper that was being eaten by something, so it ended up here. We're gonna have another straw flower coming out, and then that poor kale. That poor kale is just being suffocated. So we're gonna harvest some lettuce before there's nothing left to harvest. And now let's go over to this bed real quick. So our cilantro, predominantly because of just how hot we got, has gone to seed, so I will collect seed again. We will be doing another round of cilantro. Our kale is looking great. It is trying to flower, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to harvest some kale because I do like having kale on hand. I predominantly like it in the freezer or freeze-dried. Then over here, we've got marigolds, and then more of our San Marzanos, our Amish paste tomatoes. I think there's one other variety of tomato in here, but I don't remember what. But these cosmos look fantastic. We've got basil. These are jalapeno peppers. They've got flowers, but I don't see any jalapenos yet. More basil. Calendula looks pretty sad. No jalapeno here either. We're gonna harvest some more basil. I need to better support this guy because he's clearly falling over and that's not good for him. So we'll tie him up so we can support him and he can actually stand. So we'll try not to be too dramatic there. I topped these 2 zinnias because they had a really pitiful flower, so we'll see what they do. We've got more basil. This basil is looking phenomenal. And then these peas are done for. So what I'm actually going to do here is where the peas are here and where the peas are over there in that bed, I am actually going to put pole beans. My goal is to also put pole beans in that bed where the cabbages are. So we'll put bush beans in the actual bed, and pole beans will line the bed as well. And I forgot to show you, but we have 2 cucumber plants right there on the edge. I don't know if you can see it. So they're right there. And then I had a couple pole beans actually germinate. Again, the pill bugs, the roly-polies, were just eating them alive. And this nasturtium, survival, man, nature's incredible because this nasturtium's been fighting for its life this whole time, and it's been doing phenomenally. So we've also got beets here. Like that beet looks pretty decent, so we're gonna harvest him. That's a really good beet, so we're gonna harvest that. I also forgot to show you what our mint is looking like. So this is a peppermint plant, and this is a spearmint plant, and then I put a Cosmo next to it. I don't know when to harvest peppermint, so I may look into that. I may just pull some leaves off, because I do really want some peppermint. Our thyme is thriving here. that little succulent's doing great. This is oregano. The oregano is doing fabulous, so I may harvest some oregano. This zinnia is pretty happy. This calendula is pretty happy. This zinnia is pretty good. Another Cosmo. And some more spearmint.
I truly cannot get over how beautiful this lemon basil plant looks, and I have recently discovered that if you like to put lemon on anything, especially like seafood, so I liked to put some lemon pepper on salmon, and I recently used lemon basil on the salmon and it was phenomenal. So if you are hesitant or trying to figure out what to do with lemon basil, I recommend using it on fish or like on a chicken that you would add some like lemon flavor to. So this lettuce, if I'm completely honest, I am genuinely shocked it has made it this long, this far into July, and it is just starting to bolt. I think this is a really good spot for it because it's predominantly shaded until late in the evening. And so I was able to get some lettuce harvest. I'm not harvesting the entire plant just because some of the leaves, like you can tell, like the color of the leaves, they don't have that like luster, that vibrant color anymore, which means the plant or the leaf itself probably doesn't have good flavor. And that's not going to go to waste. I'm going ahead and I'm pulling all the plants out now, and I'm just letting it cover the soil till I'm ready to go ahead and put new plants into this bed. But by laying all of these plants down, it's going to help keep weeds from taking root and just making their way into the garden bed. And so it's like a natural mulch. It's a natural way to preserve your soil. Look at that beet. I did not have a single beet germinate last year, so I'm pretty excited about beets this year. It's going to be a very humble harvest, but I do think I'm going to go ahead and try to plant more beets later on in the year. And my solution to being able to keep the soil moist is I'm actually going to start everything in seed cells that way I can control the moisture level to ensure everything germinates and I'm not wasting seed. The thing is with these root vegetables, once they germinate, thin them, and I'm going to take the whole like plug from the seed tray and transplant it directly. I'm going to try not to touch the root system at all if possible. Also, the greens on these are technically edible, but they don't look very good. They're all brown, they're a little sunburnt because it's been pretty hot. So I am actually just topping the beets before I take them in the house, and I'm again laying the greens just onto our soil to protect the soil until it is time for me to go ahead and plant something else. I did leave some beets in the ground just because they were a little small. We'll see if they get any bigger. If they don't, that's fine. I'll still harvest them when the time comes for me to put something else in their place, and we will make do with what we've got. But this other basil plant also looks phenomenal. So it was a good morning. We got a lot of basil, a lot of kale, we got beets, and it was really nice to see how the garden was doing. It was really nice to see that we actually have tomatoes growing on the vine. I feel like my tomatoes are a little bit delayed this year. That could just be me, but we shall see. Also, it is not cold. It is not cold at all, but the mosquitoes love me, so I need to come outside this early in the morning with like layers of protection. So I was a little toasty, but it kept me from getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, and that is always greatly appreciated.
So friends, one of the things I forgot to share with you, or almost forgot to share with you, was the beans that I started from seed. So all of these beans I soaked for about 48 hours. And I had to do that because I tried planting bean seeds in the ground several times and the pill bugs ate them. So this whole tray is blue like bush beans. I'm hoping we get a couple more, but so far that one's germinated. And then over here we have a contender, pole beans. These are pole beans, not bush beans. We have the contender, which is a bush bean. We have the pencil pod, which was a bush bean. Over here we've got the top crop, and the Monte Gusto is also a pole bean. So we've got germination, and it's really, really awesome. And they're actually, you know, they're making it. It does look like something found these yesterday, which is unfortunate, but I'm gonna do my best to try and keep them healthy enough to finally get them into the ground so we can at least have a bean harvest this year. Well, friend, we got it done. We didn't get beets that were quite as big as I was hoping they would be, but it worked out, and we're at least gonna have beets this year. We didn't get beets last year. Our basil harvest has looked great. Kale harvest is good. It's probably the last of the lettuce for a little while till things cool down, but the garden looks great. We got everything fertilized. I'm so happy I was able to get out here before work. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, leave me a comment, give me a like, subscribe if you haven't. The garden is really starting to ramp up. The tomatoes are going to be here before we know it. The peppers we're going to be harvesting, so lots of exciting stuff, and then we're all going to be cooking it, canning it, preserving it in the kitchen. So if that's something that interests you, don't forget to follow along. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.